Thank you for being here. Subscribed or not, and if you have enjoyed the 49% elite humans, consider hitting that button if you enjoyed the videos. As part of growing up is finding out the truth about things you were lied to about when you were younger. As a kid, I was told if you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for years. I was told babies come from a mom and dad simply wanting one and asking for one, which I guess from a certain point of view is the truth. Point is, we're now finding out as a society that the movie Benjamin Button was actually based off of Aroldis Chapman. They just whitewashed it. So Brad Pitt has actually played multiple baseball people in movies. A's general manager Billy Beane in Moneyball, and Aroldis Chapman in Benjamin Button. Definitely could have done better with the casting on the latter, but whatever. Aroldis Chapman is aging like wine Christ himself created 2,025 years ago from water. Before this season, nobody was putting any of their attention in Aroldis Chapman. That name being brought up in recent years definitely didn't mean nothing, but it also definitely didn't hit the way it used to. I mean, Aroldis Chapman was the prize back about like 10 years ago. The beginning of his career, even further back than that, was ridiculous in Cincinnati. It's also ridiculous how good of a deal you can get off tickets to go to games with SeatGeek. With us being in the stretch of baseball season, almost playoff time now, along with the NFL season here, it's the perfect time to talk about getting tickets to go to games, and that's where SeatGeek comes in to help you out. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more, and they always make it really easy to see which seats are the most ideal to get. SeatGeek walks you through this with a scale 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal, so you can see where the best deals are. Green is for the good deals, red is for the bad deals, and this is where I come in, as you can get 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek by using code iTALK10. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code ITALK10. Make sure you click the link in the description or pinned comment below to download the app. Now back to the video. It's also important to note Aroldis Chapman's rise was a time throwing 97 miles an hour. It wasn't even that common, let alone 103. So his stuff on its own was stupid and stood on its own. Then the numbers, just year in, year out, striking out the world. I mean, 2012, his ERA was 1.5. 2013, his ERA was 2.5. He was insulted at how bad that was, so dropped his ERA by half a run in 2014 before dropping it by almost another half run in 2015. He was just a cheat code out there. Yankees traded for him. He was great for them, but they weren't very good, so they traded him away to the Cubs, got prospects for him, and then just signed him during that offseason for the biggest contract ever for a reliever at the time. So they were smart with how they handled that. But looking back, I don't think Yankees fans look at Chapman's Yankees tenure and appreciate it very much. They probably just hate it, if anything, especially with what's going on now, which we'll get to. But it's not that he was bad. He wasn't. He was actually very good overall through most of the 6 years of that contract, if you look at the numbers. The issue was what he did when it mattered most. Chapman's career in New York basically was mostly dominant, except for pretty much one iconic moment per year. The other team would do something big off of him. And in the end, that's all Yankee fans care about, of course, because, you know, they want to win the championship. But it's funny because even his postseason numbers were great. I mean, 2019, his first 4 appearances in the playoffs that year were shut down. He struck out 8 hitters, but all you remember is him cheesing like it's the first day of school picture after Jose Altuve took him deep to end the series. Or when Mike Brasso hit the game-winning homer in 2020 to get his revenge off of Chapman. Even when Chapman's team wins it all, he still has to give him an iconic home run like Rajai Davis in 2016. But Cubs fans are fine with him in the end because they won, unlike the Yankees. But since leaving the Yankees, Chapman's just been a journeyman, an arm for hire, like a hitman. Whoever needs him the most gets him for whatever short period of time they need him for. 2023, he signs with the Royals, gets traded midway through the year to the Rangers, and he helped both teams out. He got traded to the Rangers, which gave the Royals Cole Ragans, And then he helps win the World Series for the Rangers. So look at that, helping all these teams. Signs with the Pirates and is with them for 2024, and then signs with the Red Sox for 2025. And after putting up an ERA at almost 4 last year, after having an ERA at almost 4 in the second half of 2023 with the Rangers, bringing Chapman aboard didn't have the same excitement it would have had years ago. He's 37 years old. For a guy who used to be looked at as the best in baseball for his position, his ERA hadn't been under 3 in 6 years. Like, clearly at this point, you're just hoping he can be somewhat what he used to be, a little better than he had been recently, and that's the best case scenario. Well, Chapman said F that and decided to rewind the clock back 10 years because why not? Why the hell not? This man isn't just putting up a good season. This man isn't just putting up a better season than his recent years. This man isn't just improving from some of the struggles we've seen from him in the last few years. No, this man is putting up not only just the best season of his career, but one of the greatest seasons of all time for a reliever, which would make sense if he's doing well, considering some of his years with the Reds were already historic. Yeah, he's been better than that. Now, even before this season started, there were certain things that obviously made Aroldis Chapman a very attractive arm to bring on your bullpen. Number 1, he didn't require that much money to get. Number 2, he still threw very hard. And number 3, his strikeout stuff was still there at the top of baseball. The issue was the walks. That was always Chapman's kryptonite, just being wild, which can be expected when he throw as hard as he does, but that's what would get him. This year, he's limiting walks at a rate he hasn't been limiting them since 2012. 2012, the year the world was supposed to end. That's how long it's been. And he's limiting walks even better than he did that year. He's putting up the lowest walk rate of his career this year. And because of that, he's almost perfect. And in his last 14 appearances at the time of this video, he pretty much has been perfect. Aroldis Chapman hasn't given up a hit in his last 14 outings. Not, oh, he hasn't given up a run. Forget that. No, he hasn't even given up a freaking hit. 41 straight batters have come up to the plate and have left that plate without getting a hit off Chapman. It's unbelievable. He's legitimately having one of the greatest runs of all time, and he's 37 years old. He's been in the league for 16 years now and is putting up his best season now ever at 37 years old. Yeah, bro has most definitely not lost his fastball. He's done whatever the opposite of that is. And according to the legend Sneaky Panda, if you know, you know, his fastballs aren't the only thing going over 100 miles an hour. What in the world? Sneaky Panda's on something today. This is crazy. What in the world is going on? Sneaky Panda's gonna show up to the person's school. Please nobody leak where they are. Sneaky Panda is definitely gonna be the one to show up. Oh my god. Bro, what is happening? Yankees fans gotta be like, what the hell, man? You go to our biggest rival and pitch like you're 25 again? And to see just how stupid it's been out there, you gotta see how some of these outings have gone. So this one at Fenway Park. Red Sox are tied with the Orioles in extra innings now. It's the 10th inning. Out comes Chapman, who just blows 3 fastballs by Ryan Mountcastle like it's absolutely nothing. Out comes Colton Cowser, and he walks him on 4 pitches. And what I quickly realized watching this in the moment, I was like, oh, he doesn't want to face Cowser. Not because he was afraid of him. No, it'd just be too boring. Chapman was like, I want to get some work in it against only right-handed hitters tonight. So he puts Cowser on. Up comes Kobe Mayo, another righty. Strike 1 pumped in there. Then he throws a pitch that looks good enough to swing at, I guess. Issue is, by the time Mayo swings, it tails away like it's going to sail into that satellite sign behind home plate. Strike 2, Chapman's like, all right, let me just pump another one more over the plate. No chance. Now Jeremiah Jackson pinch hitting. That's tough. Imagine not seeing any pitches all night from anybody. You come in off the bench, you gotta face this. And it's just as easy for Chapman as anyone else. It was ridiculous. Strike 1 looking before 2 straight fastballs. Jackson looked like a little leaguer trying to catch up to. So that was Chappie getting his work in against righties. Let's go to New York. In for the save now. It's 1-0 Red Sox. He gets Paul Goldschmidt to ground out. Nice play by David Hamilton for the first out. Next up, Trent Grisham. First pitch, 99 on the black. Next pitch, how about I take 13 miles an hour off of it? First slider, drop that in there before going back to the corner again with 100. No chance. I mean, that is textbook. Now, Sid from Toy Story, another lefty. Chapman throws him a courtesy ball, number 1, just to spice things up. You know, this shit can't be too boring. All right, back to 98 dotted on the corner. Then another pitch in that same area, except it drops in velocity and in vertical movement. I mean, that's unfair. You just saw 98, now you're getting 87, and it's dropping. 1-2 count, what on earth is coming next? All Sid can do at the plate is just guess, and he guesses wrong. He gets another 87 mile an hour slider low and swings right through it. Let's go to Baltimore. The Red Sox just took the lead in the top of the 9th, and in comes the big man. And who starts off the 9th? Colton Cowser, who Chapman felt it would be too boring to face last time, like you saw, but this time, you know, you can't lead off the inning with a walk. That's just asking the baseball gods for trouble. So Chapman's like, all right, let me get this over with. Fastball, strike, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 2. He doesn't even give him his best. Chapman is so unenthused to be facing Cowser. He's throwing him 94 and 96. Chapman then gets a sign from the dugout, like, just make this look somewhat competitive. So he's like, all right, slider way outside before staying with that slider to get a swing and a miss. Sit down. I think Chapman's overall goal in this outing was just to get some tosses in. His other ones lately haven't been very long, so he's just like, all right, I'm going to make these at-bats feel very competitive. Samuel Basallo, the Orioles' up-and-coming catcher, who the team is now doing this to by giving him a contract, comes up ball 1 before 2 straight swings and misses on sliders. Here comes another one in the dirt. Basallo lays off of it. Then a 4th straight slider inside. Finally back to the fastball. It's fouled away. Stays with the fastball, and Basallo does what we've all been doing with Chapman's pitches. I don't blame him. He admires it for strike 3. Now up comes Kobe Mayo. And Chapman's like, remember how much of a buffoon I made out of you last time? Oh, I'm still going to strike you out, but at the very least, I'm going to send you home a little more proud of yourself. After the count gets to 2-2, credit to Mayo. He fouls away 4 straight pitches, takes ball 3 just outside, then 2 more foul balls before the catcher Connor Wong comes out. And what happened here is Wong was in on Chapman's plan to Mayo too. He knew Chapman wanted to just toy around with his food. But at this point, Wong really had to go to the bathroom. So he's like, all right, let's end this now. But there's no way to communicate that through a sign. At least not yet. They don't have that on PitchCom right now as an option. So Wong goes out. They discuss the issue. Wong probably also, I think he told them about like where they should get breakfast in the morning or something. He's like, yeah, my wife told me about this nice place. So he goes back, and that got Chapman excited. He's a sucker for a good breakfast place. So next pitch, the inevitable happens. 99 miles an hour, pumped right in there for strike 3. Chapman does his pose, just looking at his haters. That's, again, 14 straight hitless innings. Flip those numbers, you get 41 straight batters faced without giving up a hit. Maybe he's injecting himself with some sort of youth blood. Maybe he's drinking some sort of potion. Who knows? But what we do know is that Aroldis Chapman, out of seemingly nowhere, is having the greatest season of his entire career. And it's incredible, especially if you're a Red Sox fan, obviously. Join the Discord server in the pinned comment below to connect with other cool people. Remember to use my code on Seatgeek in the pinned comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.